What's up, Peep Squad is in the building, baby. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's talk about NeNe Leakes. It is going down in her situation where NeNe Leakes, spoke to the public. She got on Instagram Live to let us know what's going on. And she basically wants Bravo to sit down at the table with her. She wants them to have a conversation. She is trying to get them to sit down and talk and negotiate things out because she feels like things ain't right. I was like, Lord have mercy, it is going down. What's up, grown folks? I mean, like, what is going on? And also, she met with Benjamin Crump, and he was on the Instagram Live with her too as well. And it's just like, Lord have mercy. And he's also calling out Monique Samuels to join NeNe Leakes and also to join Mariah Huq from Married to Medicine. Because basically, they're pointing out the black women that have been mistreated by Bravo and not being treated right, not getting paid right, and just basically being thrown to the side. And, Mariah Huq, she was in the chat, and she also is working with NeNe Leakes too. And they want people to come together and basically band together to get Bravo to sit at the table to have a conversation. Because as you know, Mariah from Married to Medicine, she created the show and now she's gone. They took the whole script, they took everything, and she got nothing. And also Tamar Braxton, she joined into NeNe Leakes Live too as well to show her some support too. And with that situation, she's Miss Tamar was just basically like, We TV took everything. They took my show, they took the brand, everything that I started, and on top of that, they kept the name and they kept the money, they kept everything. So, and it also looked like NeNe Leakes was very distraught. Like, she couldn't really get her word together. Like, she was nervous. Like, like, this is something that is so real and so detrimental to her, her family, and to the generations of her family, basically stepping out, and she's being the face of, possibly bringing a lawsuit against Bravo because, she has been talking about a petition and, for people to boycott, Bravo. So this is like one of them situations where, like, Lord, this is crazy. For real, for real. And, but it's also, good to see that the ladies are trying to stick together and come together too. But we'll see where this goes. And I don't know if Monique Samuels will be joining this or not with NeNe Leakes, Ben Crump, and, Mariah Huq, because the word out on the street is that Monique Samuels will not be returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Of Potomac. I don't believe it's true. I hope it's not true, but the word everywhere is, Monique Samuels not returning. And that is crazy, all in itself. And they're saying the way that Bravo is getting rid of her. And also, Bravo doesn't fire anybody. They force them out. So you could just check out NeNe. At the end of her video, she seemed very overwhelmed. I lost for words because this is something that she thought that she would never have to do. And she said that. So let's check this out.
Several times. It was, a lot. A lot for me. I don't know. I just know it was a lot. I think it's a lot for me because I don't think I never thought I'd be in situation like that. So I was not, I didn't know what questions to answer, and so they're confused. So I just I don't know. And I don't do Instagram Live. I haven't done an Instagram Live in so long. I don't know. I did my own hair and makeup. I was confused. I was confused today. I don't know. It's a lot. I think people never know what you go through, huh? I don't think I don't think people know. They don't know. They don't know. I have not been drinking. And hey, what's that? Hey, what's the noise? Hey. The noise. The noise. I this Greg up here with his delayed noise coming into my noise. So anyway, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in and being here. I appreciate you. I tell you, this is probably one of the most stressful things. 99 people texting my phone. Greg walking upstairs with his phone on, telling me what to do, what not to do. I can't even take myself right now. I almost need to just fly to the damn moon. I'm just, I call myself not having any drinks lately because I just want to fast and be clear. But I feel like I might need to go up the street and have me a drink. I've been trying to have me a tea instead. I don't know what to do with myself. Child, okay. I'm gonna have to move out. Bye, child, because this man may come back. Uh-uh.
I felt so bad, like damn, because you could tell NeNe was being very vulnerable, and you are absolutely right. Grown folks, when she has to be very careful because people will say that she's begging, and people was already in the comments saying that cash them Trump checks, you know what I mean, and all that other kind of stuff too. So it's just like, damn, and she brought out the situation that she brought Kim onto the show, and Kim gets a spinoff, and she don't get nothing. Like, she's like, where they do that at? And also all the other franchises, having spinoffs and having other shows, and she didn't get nothing, you know? And I was just like, damn, she's really feeling a certain type of way that, she didn't really want to come out and say how bad that she may have been mistreated, but she's just saying the unfair treatment, the unfair pay, and, basically starting the show, and she talks about that, and it's just like, damn, and it just seems like shit. It just seems like a horrible position to be in, because now she's is going to be the face of a lawsuit. And then she's asking people to boycott, Bravo, but she's also saying not forever, just for a little bit. So this situation is really, really crazy. And it's just like, damn, you can just see how hurt she is. And she said they never even wanted to sit down and talk to her. She just asking them to sit at the table, and in the way they just tossed her to a side, with all the things that she has done, and how, her creating the Real Housewives of Atlanta opened the doors for so many other people. And then Mariah Huq was in the comments. Then, Tamar Braxton was there, and they were talking about what they've been through and what was taken from them and what was stolen from them. And we're going to get into it. And she's with Ben Crump. Some people like him and some people don't like him. Reverend Al Sharpton, he's involved too in this situation. And with her doing this, being a pioneer, I guess, with this situation with reality TV, something happened in 2020 like this, it could stop a whole lot of paychecks, or it could grant her a whole lot of paychecks. And also, let me not forget, Shaquille O'Neal was in the comments. Shaquille O'Neal was here to support NeNe Leakes. I was like, shit, Shaquille's in the building, baby. Shaquille O'Neal. What's up? What's going on, Peep Squad? So let me get to this video. So I'm going to have to put this on. Let me see. I was just like, damn. And the way that they talked to, and Mariah is working right along with NeNe. And when Ben Crump called out Mo, because he's basically saying Mo is being mistreated and Mo is going to get fired. Do they know something that all of us don't know? Because he was like, we need Monique. You know, y'all need to get together. Even though he wasn't really well versed on the situation, but it is what it is. So let me go to this video so you guys could see it. We'll pause it and stop, and you guys could call in too as well, to tell me your thoughts and your opinion on the situation. And so she does. So some of the fans created a petition, and she said she didn't really know nothing about it, but she did tell fans to go sign the petition. Is at change.org. So let's get into it.
I'll wait for Ben Crump. Oh, there's Ben Crump. Let me say hi to Ben. Hi to the other. I'm waiting for you to join, Ben.
And people was talking about her smile. She looks nervous,
Hi, Ben.
How you doing, Queen? It's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
I am ready to start whenever you are, NeNe.
Well, let's just wait a few more minutes. Let me let my thing up a little bit. Okay. I will wait a few more minutes for...
A lot of times in Los Angeles, but home in Florida. And you? Where are you this evening?
In Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Georgia. So, I said this conversation is a long time coming, and I'm excited to have the conversation with you today. I posted Boycott Bravo, and a lot of people have been asking me a lot of questions about why I posted Boycott Bravo. So I'm excited to get on here and talk. So I'll let you lead the conversation. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, if you're ready to start, we're almost at 7,000. I will follow your lead when you want to go ahead and kick it off, but I am ready. I have questions because many people have been asking about why did you put out Boycott Bravo, but more importantly, to talk about the discrimination and the disparate treatment of Black women in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say that I've been in the industry for quite some time now. And you constantly hear, not just about my situation, you constantly hear about the unfairness in the pay amongst men and women of color in the industry. And there's no difference in the reality space. There is difference in pay. And
let's talk about that, NeNe. Let's start from the top. Because I want to give you your propers, as a person who doesn't get oftentimes to watch The Real Housewives or Bravo. I have always known that your name was synonymous with Bravo. I mean, you were one of the real success stories. I mean, out of nowhere, you came and started this genre. Everybody started saying, you got to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. All the women in my family, everybody. And for Black women, they have followed you. You're immensely popular. You have this big platform. And so let's talk about how you use this platform, use your influence to make a difference when it matters most. What I endeavor to do for these, 30 minutes to an hour is to have a serious conversation, not only about why you put out the post Boycott Bravo, but more importantly, a conversation about that discrimination and disparate treatment of Black women in Hollywood, and the fact that even though there's a gender pay gap between men and women in Hollywood, it is exacerbated when it comes to women of color, not only in film, but also in television and also in reality TV. So I want to start right there, NeNe Leakes. You were one of the original housewives of Atlanta. You and Bravo, y'all seem to both come up in the American conscious level together. So talk to us about why you are saying boycott. Explain it to America.
Well, first of all, I want to be able to say that we did come up together. I feel we came up together. And I'm not saying boycott Bravo forever. I am basically saying that there is a conversation that needs to be had with Bravo. I would love to have this conversation privately. I'd love for all of us to come to the table and talk. There are some things that need to be discussed, and I don't want to be able to say all of those things right here on this platform for everyone to hear and see, but I was a part of a genre. I did start a genre. I did open up a door, and not only did I open it, I held the door open for others to have the same opportunity that I had. And I think the treatment that was happening behind closed doors that most aren't privy to was not a fair treatment. And this is a cry for help, for Bravo to sit down at the table and have a conversation with me and my team to correct.
What do you guys think about that? She said there's a lot of things that happen behind closed doors, and she said this is a cry for help. Like, she is being very serious about this situation. What do you guys think about that? Like, this is crazy. Like, you know, she said it's a cry for help, and that's not something NeNe Leakes usually say. And she said there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we're not privy to. How was they treating her? What was happening? What was going on? She doesn't get into a whole lot of detail, but it is crazy. For real.
Some of the things that were not done properly. And that is what this is about. So I know a lot of the fans who have tuned into Bravo over the years, they love some of the shows that are on Bravo. They love the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm not saying don't ever watch these shows. These are great shows. I am saying that we need your help. And we're asking that Bravo take a seat and sit down with us and have a conversation. Let's correct some of the things that have happened. And that's what this is. So we're not saying don't watch Bravo forever. We're not saying bash Bravo. We're saying we're asking for Bravo to have a seat with us. Have a seat with you, Ben. Have a seat with Brian Friedman. Have a seat with me. Have a seat with our team. Let's work through some of the issues that we're having behind the scenes.
So, NeNe, I know that you're trying to use your influence because you have tremendous influence. Is this just about you? Is this about your sisters like Mariah and others who may not have had the courage to come forward and say, I feel like I'm being discriminated as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously people know who I am. People do know who Mariah is on Maryjanetv, and they don't know our story. They know what they have seen on camera. They don't know what has happened behind the scene. They don't know the things that we have done, obviously. And this is a cry for help. We've done a lot of things, and we just need Bravo to sit down and have a conversation with us and work things out.
Well, it seems like you have all kind of opportunities, but some others may not have the platform and the popularity of a NeNe Leakes. So why are you doing this, and what about those other opportunities?
Well, we have asked for Bravo to sit down with us and work through issues, and we have been unsuccessful. I do have other opportunities, but you know, I was gonna say without saying too much.
Okay.
Bravo to sit down and have a conversation with us. I mean, it's only fair and it's only right.
Well, explain to us, if you would, some of the issues. For instance, about you, and you're one of the original housewives. And then I certainly would like you to talk about Mariah, who also is dealing with this issue. And I know Gabrielle Union dealt with a similar issue at NBC, and Bravo is owned by NBC. So is this an issue within the culture of NBC, in your opinion, or explain to us from your vantage point?
I am an original housewife. I'm as brown as they can get. I am an African American, and Mariah is an African American. Gabrielle Union is an African American, and I don't know how to say it without sounding.
Break it down.
I don't know how to say it without sounding like I am bashing, and I don't want to sound like I'm bashing. Okay, I want to say this. Ben, I never thought I would be in this situation in my life, and it's hard. I never thought I would be in this situation in my life and be sitting here saying it's hard to put yourself out here. And I'm not the only person in this situation. There are many people in this situation. They are afraid. And it's hard to sit here and fight for other people who are afraid to sit here and tell their stories.
So NeNe, I want to try to be clear. Were you one of the only original African American housewives? And compared to your colleagues, do you feel like you've been demoted to some degree? Can you explain that?
Yes, I was the only original housewife left on the show for a number of years. For a few years, it was me and a white housewife, okay? Left on the show for a few years. And she left the show, and she was spent off into her own show and her own series.
She's talking about Kim. You know, her and Kim are friends, but right now she's bringing up the situation that Kim ended up getting a spinoff show, and she brought her on the show, and she didn't even get the opportunity to even have a spinoff series. So, you know, she's making that point, but she's also making a point that, you know, other people are scared to speak up, and she's kind of scared too to speak up. And, you know, we'll go back to the beginning of the video, but she said 90 to 100 people called her and told her not to do this, don't talk about this. So you guys, we're gonna talk.
And so I was the only original housewife left here. And of course, for a number of years, I was being demoted while housewives from a number of different cities were being promoted. I was being demoted. And it's very hard for viewers when they're watching these shows. They don't view it. They don't see it. They don't.
So, NeNe, for a lay person like me who doesn't get to watch every episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, it was you and a white woman who were original housewives, and you're telling us that they got promoted and sorts to get their own show while you're being demoted. Explain how you're being demoted, and are you surprised you don't have your own show with your popularity at Real Housewives and Bravo?
Well, you know, it's not so much about me having my own show. It's about having, you know, when you work at any company, you want elevation. You know, it's about leveling up. Whether I was an actress or an executive, everybody wants to level up in their opportunities on their jobs, right? as an original housewife, a lot of these girls were being elevated. I was being demoted. And the way I was being demoted is I was giving less and less episodes, and these girls were giving more and more episodes. I was giving less. Original housewives across the board on different states, Beverly Hills, New Jersey, other places, they were getting full seasons, and I was giving less episodes every season.
Yeah. Do you think that this issue with Mariah on Married to Medicine is in many ways similar to yours in the fact that, as I understand, she created the show and then they forced out her own show and didn't recognize her for being the creator of that show? I mean, it's you talking about disrespect as a black woman, but that's your intellectual property.
Yes, I mean, she is the creator of that show. And for so many people watching the show, I mean, I remember watching so many people say things like she gave away her rights and she never gave away her rights. But that is the way it had been positioned over the years. And so many people watching, you could ask anybody, know, and you even could hear some of her castmates saying she gave away her rights, she signed away her rights, and they don't even know what they're talking about. She never gave up her rights. She is the creator and the owner of the show. She was never given credit for it or paid for it, or it was taken from her. And
so when this sister tried to say, this is my intellectual property, you just can't take it away from me, you all are saying she was penalized?
Yes.
For just wanting what was due to her.
Right.
And do you think this is somewhat of a culture in your perspective, or is it something that there needs to be diversity, inclusion, and implicit bias training at Bravo and at NBC?
Of course.
You know, NeNe, I know that this is very personal to you because you have been with the network for so long, and so a lot of people were surprised when you put it out there. Is this something to get the attention of Bravo and say that, you know, the African American audience is important and you need to respect your African American talent?
Of course you need to respect your African American talent. I mean, we're human. We have feelings. I mean, and we want to be elevated and we want to be treated fairly, of course. It's difficult. I mean, you want support from the viewers. You want support from your fans. It's hard to speak out. You want support from your culture, and it's hard. It's just hard. One of the most difficult things. It really is. It's just difficult, Ben. It's difficult. It's very hard. I want to be able to say more. Before I got on this live with you, I received so many text messages from so many people with so many opinions. I was so confused before I got on here because so many people are afraid. They don't want you to say anything. You get tons of opinions saying, don't do it, go ahead, forget about it, go away, don't say anything, just do something else, or just wait, something else will come. You know, you work so hard and you open up doors for other people, and it's unfair treatment. It's not right.
So you're saying you refuse to be a well-behaved victim?
I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. I don't want to be. I don't want to be.
You know.
Why should I be? Why should I be? Why should I have to be? Why?
Exactly. For other reality personalities and stars out there who feel like they've been discriminated against or treated in a way that it marginalizes them, what advice do you have for them?
Oh my God. The advice The advice is hard. The advice is hard. You have to stand in your truth. That's all I'm doing here, Ben. I'm trying to stand in my truth, which is very difficult. I asked you to help me, yes? I went to Ron Freeman for help, yes? Al Sharpton for help, yes? So many people. It was very difficult for me to come to you guys for help. Just being on here, I thought I was going to be the strongest black woman in the world. And then I got on here and started looking at you and started crumbling. I'm starting to be the scaredest black woman in the world. I'm scared. You know, I got all these calls and all these comments on here, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. All I know is you can stand in your truth and go with your gut. Go with your guts. Ben, I think you went to okay, wait. Basketball wise, there was no Hollywood exes. They were trying to say, and you buzzed out.
Okay.
I want to say that I was saying that a lot of people don't know, or they do know, and sometimes they forget because it's been a lot of years. I started a genre. I was saying I opened a door. I held the door open. When I first started, there was no, I think people forget, there was no Love and Hip Hop. There was no Basketball Wives. There was no Hollywood Exes. There was none of those black ensemble, there was no Braxtons, no black ensemble reality shows that you see. And I think sometimes people think they just kind of like popped out of the air. They just showed up. There were none of those shows. When you see all of these memes of me, they're everywhere. There's no meme machine out there like you see of NeNe Leakes. I don't get one penny off of those memes. Those memes are everywhere. They're on iOS. They're on your just everywhere. The shows that I'm on, they're on Delta Airlines. They're streaming everywhere. You can see them and everywhere. I don't get a dime from them shows streaming. They're on Delta. When you guys get on these airlines, United, you see them everywhere. I don't get a dime from that stuff. Those are the deals that we signed, and those are just deals that we didn't know that we were just uneducatedly signing.
And NeNe, that's deep. Why don't you tell us about how it all started? I mean, this is your opportunity to talk to your fans, to talk to America. How did the Real Housewives of Atlanta start? And how have you been rewarded for what you helped do?
A lot of the fans who are true fans, they kind of know how it started because we talked about it, but I'll tell you. So there was this woman, some of them know her name, is Princess Batten. There was this young lady that came to me and said, hey, I know this lady is trying to start. She was getting it wrong. The Real Housewives of Orange County. She had it wrong. And she said, they're out here in Atlanta looking for some ladies who live behind the gate. I said, girl, you have to tell her about me. I live behind the gate. And she said, I'm going to give her your name. And I said, okay. So she gave my name to this lady named Princess Batten. So Princess Batten came to my house. She kept calling me up, and I kept blowing her off. And finally, she said, girl, are you going to take the interview or not? And I said, okay. So she was coming to my house one day, I don't know, like at 1 p.m. And I started cleaning my house the whole day, like cleaning up. And I had eaten breakfast. And if you know me, I'm not a breakfast eater, right? So I was drinking a whole bottle of wine while cleaning my house, but hadn't eaten breakfast. So she rang my doorbell. I opened up the door, and I said, hey, girl, whole bottle of wine, right? So I had this lady interviewing, having so much fun. So when the interview was over, she leaves my gate, and she called me. She said, who are your friends? I had so much fun with you. I say, my friends are Kim Zolciak, Sheree Whitfield, and Deshaun Snow. And she interviewed all of them, and we became the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She said, we already have interviewed Lisa Wu Hartwell, and we like her. And boom, here we are. I literally cast the whole show just like that. Myself, Deshaun Snow, Sheree Whitfield, we all, and Kim those there. And at a time, they were not looking for any white girls. And I told them, you got to see this white girl. She has on a big blonde wig and she smokes cigarettes. Y'all gonna love her. And when they met her, they were like, boom, she is it. And just like that, it became the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
And you all were phenomenally successful.
We came out the gate and knocked it right out the park. Just like that.
Because I remember being at the Essence Festival one year, and literally everybody was talking about NeNe Leakes is going to be here.
Yeah.
NeNe Leakes is going to be here. And I was thinking to myself, is NeNe going to perform? Is she going to...
None of that.
Boo! Sisters were going crazy. And so how does Bravo not appreciate the growth that you gave their network?
Well, I would tell you. Well, what happened was, after that, the first season, our numbers were great. And so they ended up letting Deshaun Snow go, and they replaced her with Candy Burris. And then, right after that, Anderson Cooper, I would call him the Silver Fox. So he had his show, and he would say, NeNe Leakes is the breakout star. And then Ellen DeGeneres was saying, NeNe Leakes is the breakout star. And then all the news was breaking, NeNe Leakes is the breakout star. And then Anderson Cooper ended up having his own talk show at the time. And he would constantly talk about me. He said, I want NeNe Leakes to come over here and co-host my show. And all these celebrities, I didn't know who they were at the time. I was just this old country girl that's having a good time on this show. And all of them were saying, NeNe Leakes is the breakout star. And all these headlines, I'd never been in the magazine before, they all were saying NeNe Leakes is the breakout star. And so here I am, like the breakout star around here. And then the next year, Ebony Magazine, I grew up watching Ebony Magazine. Ebony Magazine called and was like, NeNe Leakes is the breakout star. We want to put her on the cover of our Power magazine. And I was like, well, dang. I'm just a country girl. I want to come on the magazine. And so, it was just like that. All the Ellen DeGeneres, everybody was calling and saying, we want this girl on our talk show, Jimmy Fallon. It was like, I was on a whirlwind. I was just doing all this stuff.
And obviously people relate to you, NeNe. So just break it down, because a lot of people are asking, what do you want to gain from people signing the petition?
I did not create that petition. Let's be clear. A fan created the petition. Some fans created it, and they sent it, and I just passed it on to the rest of you folks. The fans created it, and they asked that you do boycott Bravo, and I'm supporting the fans who are supporting me. And I think you should at this time, because I think it's a way for us to be able to take a seat at the table and have a conversation with Bravo. What I want from Bravo is for them to sit down with me and my representatives and have a conversation. I think over the years, all the things that I have done for Bravo to help elevate them, I think it is unfair and to demote me and elevate my white counterparts, and to demote me as a black woman who helped elevate this network and elevate a franchise and elevate other shows. Because before I stepped onto the scene of Real Housewives of Atlanta, I helped elevate the entire franchise. Now, granted, there was a franchise, a Housewives show already in place. But when I came on as the breakout star, according to all of the celebrities such as Ellen DeGeneres and Andy's good friend Anderson Cooper, I elevated the entire franchise. And I made more money for them than any other talent I think they have on the network. Now, I'd like to see those numbers. If they have some numbers to say that there was another talent that made more money for them, I'd like to see that.
Well, I think everybody wants to see that, NeNe. But I will ask you this here, because these fans came to your aid to say, hey, we want NeNe. And so they started this petition.
Yes.
You didn't start it.
I did not.
And it's about you. It's about Mariah, who
yes.
has and mistreated, many feel, as well as others that haven't found their voice to stand up and come out and say, we demand to be treated equally. We don't want to be marginalized because, you know, in 2020, we saw so many things happen with Black women finally starting to get their attention and recognition, whether it's Breonna Taylor in the social justice realm, whether it's Vice President Kamala Harris becoming the first Black woman to be vice president. So,
you know what, I would also say that all the years that I worked on the show and our when I worked on Real Housewives of Atlanta, when we were, you know, our ratings were the highest in the franchise.
all the housewives, all the white housewives of Atlanta was the highest.
Real Housewives of Atlanta. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. And there would be the different award shows or giving awards to different reality shows. And even if Real Housewives, if we were out, I can't remember how many times the show was nominated, the Kardashians always won. Our black ass never won. Never won. We never won. And when I came out as the breakout star, and Kim Kardashian, I was the black girl on Kim Kardashian's gang. Kim always made way more money than I have. I mean, her money was way longer than mine.
Well, you bring up a very interesting issue, and I think we should talk about it. We have about 20 more minutes, so let's try to get everything in, NeNe. Your fans don't want you to hold back. They want to hear NeNe. And Brian Freeman, an incredible attorney who really represents a lot of great Hollywood talent, is arguing, saying that, hold on, this just isn't fair. We need to really make sure that we're talking about pay equity. And so a big thing that came up in Hollywood was the gender pay equity between men and women. And it was mostly a white woman's issue. But when you really look at it, Black women suffer even greater disparate treatment when it comes to gender pay than white women. And this is very fascinating to me, NeNe, because it speaks who you are. My associate lawyers gave me an article that said TV writers circulate anonymous spreadsheets to fight gender pay gap. They said that executive producers working on shows who were white men made $25,000 to $30,000 per episode, while white women made $14,000 to $16,000 per episode, and they said women of color made $8,000 to $10,000 per episode. And so you see this great disparity, and they were all at the same studio working on the same shows. And so it speaks a lot to what you're saying about there is this inequity when it comes to how you are dealt with professionally, how you are paid professionally, and so on and so forth. So I want to talk and have you touch on those two issues. Number one, the pay equity, and then number two, the professionalism of how you were treated versus your white counterparts.
How I was treated in what respect? You mean on set?
Behind the scenes, this is a chat for your fans.
No, I was just meaning what you mean, like how I was treated in what way are you speaking? Because for the last few seasons, it's just been black on this set. But when my white counterpart was on my particular set, there was definitely a difference that I don't think people always see because it's behind the scene. Okay, and if you start speaking about the shows across the board, then there is a great difference because when my white counterpart was on set, I mean, shit, I think all these girls can speak to that. I mean, they just, oh my God, I mean, they come and go when they want to, they curse out people, they do whatever they want to do. I mean, if we cuss out anybody, we're an angry black woman, so we can't cuss out nobody. I mean, if we cuss out somebody, I mean, we are, it's just different. I mean, you say one cuss word and you are just angry, bitter, you are horrible. They can cuss all day long, and they just got up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. So it's just different.
Yeah. And you never put hands on anybody or anything like that.
Listen, you watch these shows across the world. I can give you example after example. You have never seen me in a physical altercation on this show. All the years that I've been on this show. Now, you have watched physical altercation after physical altercation on this show, black and white, okay? Now, I grabbed my cameraman's shirt. It was never anything serious, ever. He never thought it was anything serious. But listen, I'm on a show, so I'm not going to try to change any of that. I should have never touched his shirt or anything. Although he never felt it was anything serious, I never felt anything serious. The show, play it however they want to play it. I should have never touched him. Forget it. They have altercations on this show where people are going to jail. I never went to jail touching nobody doing none of that, okay? They go to jail, they still at work. They go to jail, they grabbing people's butt, they still at work. You know, I ain't grabbing nobody's ass. I don't even want to touch her ass, okay? That's how it is. And these people still go to work. They taking each other's hairs out their head, and they still going to work. So, listen, the treatment is different, okay? That's just what it is.
Yeah, and I was talking to Attorney Brian Freeman, and this is a more sober
argue. I will apologize to everybody if that's what I need to do. I will make amends with everyone. And they will not do this if you guys go to them and say, NeNe doesn't want to do this. I've gone to them and asked for help time and time again. And that's something the viewers don't know. I've gone to say, help me. I want help. Why? Help me get back in with them. I want to talk to her. I want to talk to her. I want to work it out. Can we work it out behind the scenes? Can you help us work it out?
Yeah. And talking with Attorney Freeman, he talked about some of the toughest fights are when you dare raise the even slightest hint of racial discrimination. He successfully represented Gabrielle Union and many other white stars and so forth, but he talked about how challenging that was, how the network seemed to almost be arrogant in their position when they deal with black stars and black personalities.
Why?
You know, is that what you found, that the network talks down to you at times when you try to articulate a perspective?
Well, they sure ain't been helpful. I have definitely asked for help. I have asked for help multiple times, and I have not gotten it. I can tell you that. I have gone to everybody. I have sent emails. I have asked time and time again to help me, and I have not been given help.
Yeah, and Brian Freeman, who is a Hollywood entertainment attorney, and also Reverend Al Sharpton calling me saying that there seems to be a real problem with what they're doing to some of our black women on television, and we might need to look closer at this. And so that's when you started giving me a lot of the statistics and stuff, and I was shocked. And then when Mariah called, I was just blown away that you think you can just take a black woman's intellectual property and not compensate her at all. That makes no sense to me whatsoever.
And retaliate. And retaliate later. Retaliate against you. Why?
Yeah. And so that's how the struggle is, not just in the corporate boardrooms. I will tell you, these last 4 years or so, I have had many corporate executives calling us where we have bought discrimination claims against banks. I mean, it's gotten out of hand. And maybe this is a larger part of society that's happening. And so you staking your claim if, you know, so much of what happens on television affects our subconscious minds. I never forget what Malcolm X said, that, you know, one of the greatest, most powerful drugs ever created was television. Because, I mean, it has you thinking things in your subconscious mind that you're not even aware that you're thinking. So maybe you, NeNe Leakes and Mariah Huq and others who come forward, Monique and state that we demand equal opportunities, just like our other white counterparts. Maybe this is the time now. This is the moment. And so if your fans continue to stand up with you and say, sign the petition to say, bravo, you have to do better by black women. NBC, you have to do better by black women. Television corporations and Hollywood, you have to do better by black women. Maybe if we can show solidarity for one another and we can unite, we can make a difference. And so that'll be the final question I have for you, Laura. I mean,
we can make a difference. We can make a difference.
Right, and too, and I think people need to know that how hard you go to battle for other sisters. That is really outstanding. I don't think people see that part of you, so it's good. But my final question is, how can black women unite behind one another to all come up together and tell Bravo that you got to treat, if you treat one of us bad, you're treating all of us bad, and we want to have equal opportunities?
I think one of the things you can do for now is we have said, I said it when we first started this, is that we're not asking you to boycott Bravo forever. We're asking that you help us to get them to the table. We need them to sit at the table and talk with us, and let's come to some sort of agreement. We want them to come to some sort of agreement with us, to work with us through all of this, and then we're happy to all come back on some sort of platform and say, hey, you guys, we have worked it out with them, and we want to praise Bravo and NBC or whoever for coming to the table with us and having a conversation with us, and we've worked through our issues with them, and we want to move forward. Turn your TVs back on, and let's several.
Like, this is like, so what do you guys think about what NeNe is saying? Do you guys want me to finish it, or you want me to put the video back on so you can hear the last words that she does say? But it's really basically wanting help and wanting support. And she even called out Ashley Darby. Like, damn, Ashley Darby's husband been going around grabbing booties, and then he's still on the show. She's talking about people getting arrested. She's talking about Kim. Her and Kim were friends, but basically she's saying that she got promoted and NeNe got demoted. So what do you guys think about that situation? And I'm gonna open up the phone line so you guys can call and tell me what's on your mind and what you think about the situation. Like, Lord have mercy. Okay, Dave Hart, you're too much. Tony, what's going on? Ooh, I'm just like, damn. We also know that Dave Chappelle came out and he spoke, and HBO, Netflix, they abided by what he felt that was wrong, because he signed over his rights because he was uneducated when it came to signing a contract, and plus his lawyers was with the other people. And so, but Dave Chappelle has a huge audience, and so people put pressure on them. And that's why Dave Chappelle was very successful in having HBO not air the Dave Chappelle show after December 31st. But they've been airing it, And Netflix agreed not to do that to Dave Chappelle because they value him too. I'm like, Lord have mercy. So are you guys with NeNe Leakes? Outside of what you think about her on the show, maybe get into altercations, but do you think that she's actually saying something that is right and fair to the black people, to black women? Okay, so here we go. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Dr. Lyons, and I'm calling from California.
Okay, your name again is Dr. what? Your Dr. what, please? Lyman, okay.
Lyons.
Yes.
I totally wholeheartedly agree with NeNe.
Okay.
If we don't stand together as a people, we will not be heard. Everybody has to stop watching the show so that they can, get to the table. But also, she shouldn't be running quickly back to turn on the TV, because they're doing some things on TV that should not be publicized. Like Bravo is taking advantage of the BMO movement by keep showing it. Why you keep showing it every single week? We have the point already. That's why everybody got out there and voted. So they don't have to keep showing that on TV. And really, Bravo is insulting people. That's what they're doing. So if people turn off Bravo for the next 2 years, it'll be good for them. That's my comment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. Go ahead, girl. You did that. So are you guys gonna turn off your TV? Are you gonna support NeNe, or do you guys think that, oh, the way her behavior is, the way that she was on the show, so therefore I'm not gonna support her? You know, she digged this grave and now she got a lie in it. What do you guys feel? Do you think that the women should come together and gang up and basically stick together? Because we have noticed over the years, and we have talked about different things that we don't like and what people have done, you know, on the show, and being mistreated right in front of our faces and saying things that were negative towards the cast of, you know, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, especially at their reunion. And a lot of people were very upset what happened with, you know, Monique Samuels when it came to her basically trying to show her receipts, that she was not able, you know, really to show her receipts or anything else like that. And people felt like, you know, oh my God, Andy just brushed her off. He didn't want to talk to her. He was very rude. He was very rude against her. And there's a lot of times that we felt that way. So what do you guys think about that? Okay, please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Sugar, I'm calling from Clarksville, Tennessee.
Hey, what's up? What's going on? What's your thoughts?
I'm calling in about the NeNe leak situation. I'm down with NeNe. I just believe real recognize real. I believe that a lot of things that NeNe did is coming on that show. I'm tired of black drama. I look at that show because I look at these black women with money, careers, and they just argue all the time. That's why I look at the show. But I feel like all of them are fake. NeNe is real, and I'm team NeNe. Period.
Do you think she said, I was gonna ask her a second question. She said she's team NeNe leaks, period. So, you know, and as Ben Crump was basically explaining that there is a really huge pay gap, you know, all across the board, especially at one studio, you know, the men making more, Caucasians making more, and then the black woman is making in the 10,000 mark. You know? So what do you guys think about that? And have you experienced working at a place where you got paid less? Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, this is Dave, Bayboy 925, California.
Hey, what's up, Bayboy? How you doing?
I'm alright. How you been?
I'm good. What's your thoughts?
I think this is a mess. I kind of feel like, to me, she's coming off as kind of disgruntled. And I don't like the way she's using the Black Lives Matter movement for, you know, her case and to try to get people on her side. I think it's more of a trope sort of a deal. There have been times where she's actually called for other black women on the show to be demoted or fired because they were declassing the show and not bringing anything to the show. Now you want black people to stand behind you. It just doesn't seem authentic to me.
Mm-hmm. And what else do you think about what she said when there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and she has went to, you know, the higher ups and tried to talk to them and try to ask for help to change things to what can she do? What do you think about her expressing that she's tried to change and get things better, but everyone has ignored her?
I mean, she doesn't have to be a celebrity. Let's just start there. She actually has a degree. What about using your degree? What about getting a good job? Why was it okay when you were on the show to take such poor treatment, but, you know, as soon as you're no longer with the network, all of a sudden you have a claim and a case? I don't know. It reeks of desperation to me and bratty behavior. It just doesn't seem genuine.
No, but do you think that she's actually taking a stance and open a door where other people, even though you think her intentions are not, a 100, but do you think that what she's doing is actually going to open the door for other black women that are facing discrimination and not being paid well by a network to come together and form a union? Is that good intent? And what do you think about that?
I mean, I hope something good comes from this, especially if something good helps, black people, black women in particular. I would hope that, but I don't know. I mean, the only person I can see that I have real untrue sympathy for is Mariah Huq. And I've already stated that before, even before we talked about this, that I think what they did to Mariah was real bad and really low ball. And, now you see their karma with Married to Medicine in LA, that's no longer. And I don't know. I hope something, good does come from this.
Yeah, because, you've seen what happened to Mariah, so there could have been some underhand stuff that happened to NeNe too as well, minus what we've seen of her on TV.
Yes, the thing that we need to do too, and when we go into these meetings, into these boardrooms and stuff, we need to have somebody on our side, somebody who you have vetted, somebody who, you have trust in, because you cannot depend on them to support you, because it's like, you're running to them, talking about them to them, it's not going to work out. And we have to be able to, not be overzealous and read those contracts and make sure those contracts are vetted and get somebody that is on your side to help you out.
Okay, someone has a question. Someone has a comment. They said that NeNe Leakes supported Portia when they wanted to fire Portia. What do you think about that?
She did what? She turned on Portia?
She tried to support. She went to the networks, or she tried to make sure that they didn't fire Portia. She spoke up for Portia Williams.
I mean, I feel like her and Portia had a good friendship, and it was somebody who she felt comfortable with filming. I don't think she supported Portia because she felt like Portia was the most right at that time. I just felt like she felt comfortable with Portia, so that's why she, helped Portia help herself too.
All right. What is your final thoughts on the whole NeNe Leakes situation and everything that she said? Do you think she wants to be back at Bravo, or do she want them to cut her a check?
See, and that's the thing. She didn't really make that clear. All these people, call for all these boycotts, and the things just aren't 100% clear. They just want us to stop watching it. Well, if I start watching Bravo, I'm not going to have nothing to talk about. This is what me and my friends, Housewives of Potomac, Atlanta, this is what we do. So, and in that regards, I'm not going to stop watching Bravo. I wish NeNe would bow out gracefully. She had a very good run. She went seasons, 10 seasons, 11 seasons. At some point, did she think she's going to be on the show for the rest of her life? What else does she have to offer as a person besides going back and forth with other people on the show?
Well, she created the show. Could you imagine, like, the dude that created McDonald's? He got a little low blow, and then McDonald's is a $1 billion corporation.
I mean, that dang near did happen, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yep. But it's the thing about it. It's not NeNe's company. NeNe isn't Bravo. NeNe didn't pay for them to film in other people's homes. NeNe didn't bring in production. NeNe isn't cutting the checks for everybody on the show. It's an ensemble cast. You need other people to bounce off of. And that is exactly one of the reasons why she didn't get her own spinoff, is because she's not that interesting unless she has some sort of catty drama to bounce off of. NeNe and Greg and the little boys she got are not that entertaining.
Okay, but overall, at the end, the fight that she's trying to fight and bringing, and Ben Crump, and also Mariah Huq in her situation, and they're talking about Monique Samuels too as well. Do you think that is good? Like, she's actually opening the door to basically stop, the discrimination of how they treat sisters and how they're getting paid less while other people are getting promoted and also getting paid more.
Well, yeah, I would, like I said, and before, I would definitely support black women getting paid more, or the same as their white counterparts. But I honestly just don't think this is what this is about. If something like this on the back end happens to where they say, black people, we stood up for our rights, and now Bravo doesn't, pay us less, that would be a perfect outcome. But I think the outcome that NeNe wants is some sort of payday for some sort of production, or something like that. And I feel like she didn't create the show either. They came to her, they were already looking for the concept of the idea of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And, she was, everybody knew her out there. She was a big mouth, so they got in contact with her. But she doesn't own Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, babe boy. You have a great night.
You too.
God bless.
Bye.
Babe boy's in the building. So does anybody else have any, thoughts on the situation with the NeNe Leakes? Because it seems like that she's really crying out for help. She said, this is a plea for help. This is a cry for help. And it didn't seem like the normal NeNe that we always see, because she is struggling. And she also said that people called her and told her to stop. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't go online. It's like, damn, you're supposed to speak up. If you feel like you've been treated unfairly, if you feel like you've been cut out, if you feel like, something ain't right, if you don't speak up, if you don't say something, what is going to continue to happen? And maybe you'll make it easier for the next person that walked to the door that works with the same company that you work for, or you just got to create your own. And with that situation, who's ever doing the hiring and the firing might think that, what, I shouldn't treat her like this, because imagine we might have an explosive situation, or there might be a lawsuit. Like, they'll think twice. But it seems like, they're easy to take up from you, take what you got, use you up and spit you out. Because Mariah, I think that was dirty what happened to Mariah. And I was like, Lord have mercy. That was really dirty. To take their creative, her creative property and just take it and say, see you later. Don't even give you an envelope. Don't give you nothing. And then create a spinoff. And in that spinoff, LA Married to Medicine fell, It's a whole lot going on. But, NeNe basically just talked about how she felt like she was demoted. Would you feel demoted if you brought a woman on the show, you created the whole cast for the first season, and that particular person, which is Kim, get a spinoff, and you don't? Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
This is Bad Missy from North Carolina.
Hey, Bad Missy, how you doing? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is that NeNe is saying a lot of great things. She's trying to fight for equality. She wants to make sure people are represented positively and fairly. However, I would have respected her so much more if she would have did this when she was still on the show 5 seasons ago, sometime when she was still working. Seeing that she's doing that now when she's no longer on the show, it seems like there's an alternative motive and a different agenda. And she's using Black Lives Matter, equality, and all these other things to kind of mask what her true agenda is. So that's my problem.
What do you think about the Mariah Huq situation from Married to Medicine?
I'm not fully up to date on what was going on with her. I've heard mixed things, so I can't really speak on that because I didn't hear too much about that to have an opinion.
But you also heard in the video where NeNe said that she was afraid. She might have been afraid 5 seasons ago.
Yeah, and she should have did something 5 seasons ago, though.
Yeah, but she said that she was afraid.
She was on the show for a very long time, and she could have took any opportunity at any moment to say something, but she waited until afterwards when she was no longer welcomed on the show and blacklisted from other places, not just Bravo. A lot of people don't want to work with NeNe, which is really unfortunate, but now all of a sudden
She does have 2 shows on the E network.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that's good, but still, I'm just not fully convinced that this is a genuine thing.
All righty. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please tell me your name and where you're calling from, and turn me down in the background. Thank you so much. And sometimes, when it comes to a situation, people are going to, not believe that you are genuine. And we don't know if she was afraid back then, because she said when Kim got her own show, she felt like she was being demoted from that time. And she has spoken that she did go to the higher up. She did go to production. She did go to the executives, but she got no help and she got no answer. But she never came public with it. She gave little hints here or there, but I guess it has gotten too much where she couldn't speak up on a situation. And even in the video of the live that she did with Ben Crump, she was talking about that she was afraid, she's scared. And there's so many other people that are afraid and scared. Do you think you should voice your fears? Stand to the plate. And that's what she's doing now. Sometimes it takes people a while to get the courage. And with that, people are going to say, you should have did it a long time ago. Why are you saying something now? And, she did talk about the ratings of the show. It was the highest ratings of any show on the Bravo network. She made them so much money. And for them to just spit her up and throw her out and mistreat her slowly by taking episodes away from her slowly and basically demoting her. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Anna from New Jersey.
Okay, Anna, tell me your thoughts on the situation.
So my thoughts on the situation is, overall, it is not unimaginable to think that there's discrimination that's going on at Bravo. It happens all over corporate America. I've experienced it myself as a Black woman. I think with NeNe, I think that it's understandable also why she would be afraid to speak up earlier. And now, while she has the freedom from being away from Bravo, has the freedom to be able to speak about it more freely. I don't necessarily think that it's her taking advantage of the Black Lives Matter or anything or whatever the case may be. I think that this is probably the best opportunity to say something. While there is all of the social unrest, while there is the opportunity where people are actually paying attention because people are at home, people are seeing how unfair things are going in every aspect of society. Why not talk about it now? Especially that she's not on the show anymore and she doesn't have to essentially answer to people at Bravo anymore.
That's a very good point. Very good point. I know I experienced discrimination at work, at a place of business, and that's a very good point as to why it's a great time now, because we do have the Black Lives Matter. We do have people paying attention. People are home. People are seeing things. Even when it came to the protest, people that thought that cops were so great, they're seeing them act up on people that look just like them. So people was like, whoa, okay, there is a problem.
Right.
So
because if you look at it, if you think about it, a lot of the Black women that are on Bravo, they like, for example, when Andy Cohen was talking about yesterday, was talking about I don't condone violence, but you didn't say that when Teresa was throwing tables or chairs or whatever it was. You didn't say that at that time when Teresa pushed you. You didn't say any of that at that time. So now you're saying it to
try and make it seem like you guys didn't care about the ratings that were going to be attached to it. It's okay for you to use black women as a sacrificial lamb in order to achieve your ratings, but you won't pay them enough. You won't support them when they come to you with questions or ideas, or you steal their ideas and then act like you didn't do it. That's ridiculous.
Look at Nick Cannon. He said something that, the masses didn't like, and he lost his whole show.
His whole show. Everything. Simply because he stood up for something that he believed in.
Yeah.
And then even after he realized that he was wrong, he went back and he did research. He didn't just give an apology just to try and get his show back. He went back, he did research, he learned, and he understood the error of his ways. And then he said, you know what? I'm going to give you an apology, not to get my show back, because this group of people deserve an apology because I did say something that was uninformed.
Mm-hmm.
But so many people throughout, I forget which franchise it is, the lady, Kelly somebody, where she said something about, like she did something with Black Lives Matter or something to that effect. And nothing happened to her. No one says anything. No one has any concern. She's still on the show. They're still airing it. Like, it just, I don't necessarily understand it. And I also don't understand people who are saying that NeNe is just, is just basically using this time frame to just talk ish. It's not like this. As a black woman, this in all honesty is legitimate. I don't see anything that if this could be Bravo, this could be NBC, this could be Pfizer, this could be Frito-Lay. It could be any company, and something like this could happen.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
So.
Facts. Whatever it may be, they're saying that she might be doing, but it also brings attention to how we are not fairly treated, how they can make billions of dollars off of us, and we get paid crumbs. And then with the crumbs that they pay us, they started putting stipulation on it and started treating you wrong and chastising you, because we have all seen Andy Cohen chastise the black cast on Real Housewives of Atlanta and Real Housewives of Potomac. Not only do they
expect us to just be grateful for the crumbs that they throw at us.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
And if our forefathers and our foresisters didn't speak up, we wouldn't be where we are today. We're a lot farther, but what if everybody just kept their mouth closed and like, I ain't gonna say that because people gonna think this about me, they're gonna think. We would never have any type of change. That part. Why, even if NeNe is not the perfect representative to bring this information to light to the public, somebody has to say something. Period. If you don't say, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. Amen. The squeaky wheel is the one who gets the attention. So if you don't say anything, then because she's not the perfect, ideal black woman or ideal victim, then you just dismiss her? No. I don't mind not watching Bravo, I'll be honest, right after this reunion next week. But I don't mind not watching in support of, because I know what that feels like as a black woman, to be discriminated against, to be treated as if you're less than in a corporate environment. I appreciate your phone call. Thank you so much. No problem. You have a good night. You too as well. Thank you. So, did NeNe make a good point when she talked about Ashley Darby's husband going around grabbing producers' butts, and they even showed it to us on the reunion of Real Housewives of Potomac, and then we know he has been accused of it, and a cameraman tried to press charges against him, but they had no evidence, so they threw it out. And, other people have said that Michael Darby has grabbed booties. You know what I mean? And he's still there. And then Robin's engagement party, he wilded out on, the staff. He was out there yelling at them, and yet he is still not chastised, and he's still on the show. What do you guys think about that? Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
It's Miss T from New Orleans.
Hey, Miss T, what's going on? New Orleans in the house.
Not much, girl. What's going on?
Yeah, you know what's going on, girl. NeNe Leaks.
Girl, my only question, well, I have a couple of questions. The first question is, if I've heard this story from NeNe before. I've heard her tell us pieces of a story. I heard it in the summertime. I heard it another time. She said all of this roundabout stuff before. So what I want to know is, what is she going to do about it? Why is she still begging for Bravo to talk to her? And why does she think that doing it this way, this is the definition of insanity, doing the same exact thing and expecting a different result? The first couple times she did this rant on live to Bravo, they paid her dust. But she did it again. She wants to sit. She feels so hurt. She's done this spiel like 3 times now, and it doesn't get anywhere. So I'm trying to figure out, why is she still doing that instead of just going to file a lawsuit? Why are we still talking about it? Just don't do it.
I don't think she wants to make enemies, and maybe she thinks there is a way that if she can sit down at the table, she can take care of her situation and maybe take care of the other women's situation, and maybe they might just hear her. Maybe the people that been, out here protesting, the people that have been donating to a lot of different causes that has happened to our people, and they have GoFundMes, maybe that she will get some of that type of support and that pressure, because you standing alone sometimes ain't enough. And then if you look at what Dave Chappelle did, that was like, whoa. So maybe, she's thinking that could be a change. But I know what you're saying.
But then at the same time, okay, if that is the case, then my next question, what do you want from me? First, you tell me that this network has systemic racism, and you explain it to me, and Black Lives Matter, and I am all for that. And of course, as a black woman, I can't support that. But then you tell me to boycott. Then you tell me to boycott, but not for long. So what do you want from me? Do you want me to, I either can boycott them or I can't. You can't tell me there's systemic racism and then tell me to boycott for a little bit. That doesn't make sense to me.
Unless, I totally get what you're saying, and unless she is not trying to mess up anybody else's bag that are just like her, that film with Bravo. And maybe she's thinking that
clearly is not the right way to do it. I don't feel like this is the right way to do it. Come on and spill your tea and all of the way you feel. Again, not the first time. Spill all of this to me and explain it to me, and you're begging to sit at the table. So let's even pretend that they do. Okay, they finally sit at the table. What do you want? Do you want them to apologize? Do you want them to give you another show and pay you more? Do you want them to fire? Like, what do you want from the sit down? Because I feel like some of it is you do want things to change, but you also feel very, very justified in being used and manipulated. So what if they said, okay, you're right, we're sorry. Here's a spin-off, or here's a talk show. You can talk about Black Lives Matter till your ears fall off. Go ahead. So would you accept that? Would you be happy with that? And so is that when we stop boycotting Bravo again? It just seems like a lot of inconsistencies, and I really just need one clear statement from her.
I think she don't want legally for things to come at her too, when she's saying go sign the petition, boycott, Bravo, because going up against the machine is a big thing. That could be partial the reason. And also she's thinking that maybe I've been there for 10 years. They gotta know who I am. They gotta know who I be. They gotta know something about me that I'm really trying to make change. I really want to make a difference in the situation that I feel hurt and mistreated, and there's others like me. So I think she said that she was afraid in the video. She's afraid. That's why she said she was afraid. She said people called her and warned her, and she said she's afraid to be out here doing this because others won't speak up.
But she's still doing it.
Yep, which I guess she's doing it because she feels like she has the need to do it, and she's not doing nothing, so she got to do something.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
All right, thank you, Miss T.
All right.
God bless. Thank you so much. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Marty from Florida.
Hey, Marty, what's going on? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that the situation with NeNe, I wasn't really on board initially, but now after watching how the Monique situation is playing out with Candace, it's really changing my mind because of how it's obvious Andy's biased, and obviously he speaks for the network in some capacity and how they probably feel, and they're allowing Candace to go out on this victim tour every episode, and trying to create this narrative that this fight was so brutal when it was really not anything as horrible as what we've seen in multiple seasons from other franchises, and they've never grilled Teresa, Danielle, or any of the ladies that have been physical on these shows the way that they've gotten in Monique last night. And so I already see how they thought that they could play the narrative with the audience and that we would be on board with this hate Monique train, but they obviously see the fans are not on board. So I don't know how they're going to play this, but if they really do, from what I can tell, try to play this with not bringing Monique back next week, I will be turning off Bravo.
That's what I'm hearing, because Ben Crump, he called out Monique's name. So there must be word that she is not coming back to the show, because he said it, and he's not even a Real Housewives watcher. So how he know?
Well, it's not even necessarily how you know, it's just how they're coming
after her. Facts.
The narrative that they're pushing.
Facts.
Is obvious. So they're trying to create some justification, but there is no justification. We have, data. We have video proof that you guys let white tricks on the show with no storyline that come on every year saying the same bullshit when we actually have a real black couple that's expressing black love that got their own money, don't need y'all, and you're quick to get rid of them after one mistake? No, this is not okay, and I'm not going to be supporting any form of white supremacy. And that lady that called in earlier talking about we voted, and that's all, and we can't watch Black Lives Matter. It's done because we voted Joe Biden, mass incarcerator in chief, who jailed so many black people, and Kamala, who co-signed a lot of that, and as her career as a prosecutor, who did not help us but destroyed many of our lives. We voted for the lesser of two evils. The movement is not over. Voting did not solve the issue. We still have a lot of wolves in sheep's cloth in power, ready to destroy us right now as we speak. So we have to be diligent. We have to use our voices. We have to unify as one people and support each other. And I support NeNe Leakes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your phone call.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Hoover. I appreciate that donation. Thank you so much. Yes, it's I have been complaining about the way that some of these ladies get treated. I only watch, Potomac and Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's what I watch. And I did watch Jersey, and I know Jersey they got dirty. There's a lot of dirty things that happen on the other franchise too as well. But the way that, Andy talks to the women that look like me it just makes you feel a certain type of way. And that's how I felt last night, the way that he was talking, like, oh, your husbands must be glad that you're bringing home a paycheck. Like, come on. Like, why would you say that? You know, why would you try to demean them? Because he's not going to do it to nobody else. Basically, he was acting like they was broke, dusty, and starving for money, and, you know, and they saved their lives. And the way that he treated, you know, the Atlanta housewives when they had their reunion, not last year, but the year ago, I think a year and a half ago, with Kim, and basically running to her defense and saying, you guys attacked her, you guys are a gang. Basically, I've never lost control like this. I've seen him lose control at plenty reunions. It's like he's always calling out the black women and being catty and petty, and, you know, trying to make them look bad at the same time. And then when you have somebody that can, you know, be in charge of influence somebody to hire and fire, that's the situation. But Andy did say that, you know, he doesn't have the say so to hire and fire people. But you guys tell me what you think about that. So if any more phone calls, anybody want to express their opinion on the situation. But yes, NeNe Leakes did touch on the Ashley Darby situation with her husband. So should her husband be removed from the show because of him, you know, continuously grabbing, you know, butts, and then he's not being held accountable. He's not told that he can't do this. There was even criminal action filed against him, but the charges was dropped. But yet he is still on the show grabbing booties. And these are black man booties that he's grabbing. What's going on? So, she did make some points, but the biggest point that I believe that she made that she was scared. She was very scared. And, you know, people were warning her not to get online, not to say anything. And then knowing that other people has been mistreated and treated bad too, but they are afraid to speak up because they don't want to be blackballed. So, you know, and you could tell it took courage for her to do it. She was nervous. She was shaking. She didn't really know what to say. She was smiling, and it ain't shit to smile about. Oh, virtuous woman. I know. That's what he said. He said, I don't have, you know, the authority to hire and fire people. Those are the only two that I watch, but I quit Potomac. Hoover fan. Thank you so much, Hoover fan. For real, for real. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that, because sometimes people are scared to speak up. People are scared to say anything because they don't want to lose their seat. They don't want to get treated any worse. And I know some of us have been at jobs where we have felt like we've been discriminated against. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, I'm Norris from Flint.
Hey, what's up, Norris? What's going on? What's your thoughts?
Well, NeNe, I do agree with her on this one. You know, I don't like to see our black people get mistreated on the show, on these shows. I really don't like it. You know, I think that I don't always agree with everything that she said and done, but on this I do agree with. I think that she needs to talk more about that lawsuit she got going on with Lisa Bloom.
I think that's out the window. I think she is contacting Ben Crump, because she said she reached out to Ben Crump. She reached out to a lot of different prominent lawyers, and she didn't mention Lisa Bloom. So I think she's done with Lisa Bloom, and she's going towards Ben Crump and his, you know, law firm.
Yeah, I think he would be a good lawyer for her, absolutely, because it's still 2020, and I think we should all support each other, because, like, the black shows on Bravo are the best shows to me. They get the most ratings, but still, at the same time, they still get the black cast members of these shows, like Married to Medicine and The Real Housewives of Potomac and The Real Housewives of Atlanta. They still get paid. Seem like a lot of them ladies get paid less than the Caucasian ladies, especially the ones like Kelly Dodge. She the one that really needs to be fired. The one from Real Housewives of Orange County, the stuff that she done said and done. Did you see a picture of that hat that she had on one of her Instagram pictures?
I don't even know who you're talking about.
You don't know about OC. Okay. But have you heard about her?
No, let's just stick on the people that I know about. We're talking about NeNe right now.
You probably, she's nobody. I just tell you that she's nobody. She just needs to be fired. But they support her. But anyway, NeNe. I think that NeNe, they should give her something. Give her a check or something. Maybe keep her quiet. If they really want to keep her quiet, try to make a deal with her or something. Because I think that she deserves, to be, paid for everything that she's paid, more money for everything that she's contributed and that she's brought, contributed and brought to the show Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I think that show is going to suffer this season without her. I can already see it now that show is going to, it's going to tank. I mean, it might come back for another season, but I think they're going to have to make a lot of changes, do some more changes.
And, also, NeNe mentioned that, like, when she gets on the Delta Airlines, when she get on these airlines, she go to these different places, she see her memes and things like that she don't get nothing for because of the contract that she signed. And every time the show is streamed somewhere else, she get nothing for that. And she said she was uneducated at the time that she signed the contract. So they're still making money off of her image that she gets nothing from. She's not on the show anymore. And she's just left out in the dark.
That's right, and I think that Mariah has been has definitely been wrong. They done her wrong. They wronged her the most because she the one that they should have really made a deal with. You know how like some people buy out, like people can sell their show or sell a product to somebody and they buy it, like pay them so much money and they can own the copyrights and everything like that. I just feel like they should have did that with Mariah. If they didn't want Mariah to come back to the show, don't just fire her and just kick her to the curb and just take her show away from her. I think I wish Mariah would have copyrighted that show or something or had some kind of trademark so they couldn't do her like that. Then I could say she easily got a case, but I think she still should try to sue.
Yep, and NeNe said that she didn't sign anything over. She didn't give them the permission, but they just took it.
I wonder, do she have a copyright? That's the question. If she have a copyright or a trademark, then she could definitely, I know for sure she could sue them. But I would try if I was her, because that's not right. She shouldn't just lay down and just let them take her show, because Married to Medicine, to me, is one of the best shows on that network. That's why it's been going on for 8 seasons. And I don't understand, why do the Caucasian shows get so much praise? And a lot of them shows are boring. They are so boring. The people on the shows, they don't have no sugar, no spice. They don't bring nothing to the table. They just cry. They some crybabies. And it's like they dull. They don't bring no spunk, no nothing. And then just like you watch the black shows, we got all the flavor and we got all the entertainment. We know how to stand up for ourselves. We know how to read people. We know how to check people. And it's like they giving Bravo their ratings and they still can't get the credit that they deserve. But you rather put these boring people on the shows. That's not going nowhere.
Well, thank you, Tony. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
Thank you.
God bless.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Tony. Michigan's in the building, baby. Michigan's in the building. So what are you guys' final thoughts on the situation? Are you supporting NeNe? Are you team NeNe? I know some of you guys are saying it's the right message, but the wrong messenger. But do you think the message is the right message? Or do you think that NeNe just wants to return back to, Real Housewives of Atlanta, but with some stipulations where maybe she can keep the door open and make sure that the other ladies are being treated fairly? Because also when NeNe was live, Tamar Braxton, you know, she was in the comments and she talked about she started the Braxtons and she did all this stuff and now she's not on the show. She's not making any money from them and they making money off what she created. They're making money off of her and she can't even use none of the stuff that actually belongs to her. Like, you know, so she's basically saying that she was left out in the dark too as well. Then you have Mariah saying that she was left out in the dark, and now people are saying that Mo is going to be Monique is going to be left out in the dark. Hey, what's up, Mo? So, you know, it's like one of them situations. It's like, damn, like, And I know that some people don't feel NeNe like that, and they don't feel like, you know, she deserves anything. Like, she walked away. They feel like she started a lot of this, she did a lot of that, she made, you know, temperatures worse over there. And I totally understand that, but I try to look at the bigger picture. If she's actually successful with this, that means the doors will be open and more black women will be treated correctly and paid correctly if she's actually can do something with this situation, as far as to make sure, you know, that there's a policy. If she can possibly make sure there's a policy, and if other people get on the bandwagon, it can be a policy that can be created for these reality TV stars and these big businesses and, you know, corporations. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Thick Girl 40, Steve.
Hey, what's up, Thick Girl 40?
I just want to say, out of all three of the names you just said, Tamar, NeNe, and Mariah's the only person that I felt has been done the wrongest. But at the same time, why don't we as black women, the women on the show, why not corral around your black sister?
Because
they don't care long as they still getting their check.
And they don't like her. Remember, they don't like her.
And NeNe also, because when she was getting her money, she didn't care about the next black woman. She degraded. She wanted to fight. She talked about people's kids. I mean, but now that they're done so wrong, we all supposed to just feel sorry for you. No, you did that to yourself. Your superiority complex, you the queen. You actually thought that you were bigger than the network. Like, if it wasn't for me, they wouldn't know Andy's name. No, the right people knew Andy's name. That's why he was able to find you and give you a job. So that's what she's doing. It's like I said, it's right messenger, wrong messenger. Because she's not the face. If Mariah would be the one talking, I would be a little more. I mean, well, not a little more. I would understand wholeheartedly because she was done wrong. She started the show. NeNe got people to ask people to come on the show. She didn't start the show. Housewives was already a thing before her. She knew people that she wanted to add to the show, but Mariah actually started the show. She wrote the recipe for the show. She was the show, and they took it. That's the difference. And Tamar's her own work enemy also. So that's just how I feel about it.
Alrighty, I got you. Thank you, Thick Girl 47. DC's in the house, baby. DC. And what do you think about NeNe talking about Ashley Darby's husband?
She was telling the truth. She said no lies.
Yep. Do you think he should be gone from the show?
But the thing is, that was going on when she was on Housewives. When you were getting the check, you looked past it. You never stated nothing about that. You never brung it up. It still goes back to her no longer having a job. Thank you, sir. Be safe. Like, if you were still working for Andy, would you have a problem with Michael grabbing people's butt? Because you didn't have one before. Unless I missed something.
What do you think about what she said about Kim getting her own show and they promoting it and not even offering NeNe a spinoff, and she was one of the originals?
Yeah, I understand that. I don't understand how Kim got a show either. But at the same time, NeNe, nobody wants to watch you. And your family. You don't even want to tell us anything. If you would have been on the show and brought your deadbeat son and let us see all of that, maybe we would have been interested.
But for the last couple of seasons, what did she bring?
Well, if you ask NeNe, she brought the ratings. If you ask NeNe, she brought the ratings to the show. Ever since she's been on the show, the ratings have been top dog.
So you forget that she wasn't on the show for 6 episodes last season, and she missed the whole season, and we still watched, and we still talked about it, and we still kikied on Monday. That's her problem. She thinks she's bigger than that network. She thinks she's bigger than what she is. You're not. This is an ensemble cast. You're not the only person on the cast, NeNe. And that's her problem. If she was on the show caring about black women, that'd be something different.
But she also said that she paved the way. She opened the door for women to get jobs, and she opened the door, and she held it open.
Bravo paved the way for women, for these ladies to get a job. Like I said, they chose you. They chose you. You didn't choose you. You didn't go to the daggone thing and say, let's do a Atlanta Housewife. No, you did not. You heard they were taping, they were looking, and you went and you auditioned.
She said they came. She said they came to her house. She said they came to her house, and they did an interview with her. They loved her, and they asked her who were her friends, and then boom, there you have it, Real Housewives of Atlanta.
How many franchises were already in play?
Orange County.
If they didn't like her, they wouldn't have went to somebody else in Atlanta and did the same.
Well, what do you think of? But you did say that it's the right message, wrong messenger. So you think it's a good message. So, okay.
Right. After last night, the Andy tried with Monique, yes. Before that, it's a lot of things with Mariah, yes. He's wrong. The network is wrong. But she can't sit there and try to act like she was put off the show because she's black. No. You were put off the show because you thought you were bigger than the show. And now that all your little eggs been dried up, you want someone to have sympathy for you.
But hold on. She also said that there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and she saw her counterparts that were Caucasian getting treated better than her. Anything they asked for, wanted to do, come in, come and go as they please. They got the okay, and she said that they have been cutting her appearance on the show for a long time, and a lot of people were saying that they believe that, you know, they started cutting her episodes starting at season 8.
But she still stayed. She still grabbed that check at the end of the day. If it was all these things going on season, and if she'd have bought all this up while the show was going, that'd have been something different. You can't sit there and act like you didn't have a hand in your demise. You helped that alone. So people just didn't fire you. Everybody knows. Everyone loved NeNe the first 2 seasons before she got her real nose. Everybody loved her. But when she started getting on a high horse, she did that. They didn't just fire her because we still love her and we want to still see her on the show. That would have been stupid. She got to realize she played her hand in what happened. Your husband had cancer. He was going in for surgery. You went to the store to put up clothes, really? Your attitude sucks, chick. You're not bigger than us. How did you think you got swag? You didn't have swag before Bravo. You didn't have your restaurant before Bravo. Nobody knew your name. If you write you, I'm going to stick with you, but I'm not going to buy into your bullcrap either.
So would you be signing the petition?
Yeah, if Mariah brought it to the forefront. If somebody with a leg to stand on, yeah. And it depends on what's in it. If it's right for everybody, if she's going down the line, picking out things, yeah. I have no problem with it. I always want to see my sisters win. But you can't sit there and not care about the next female and then want everybody to care about you. No, it don't work like that. She didn't want Kenya back on the show. She didn't care. She ate. And she was pregnant. And she got a whole child now. She didn't care. You can't sit there and not care about other people, but what? Everybody to worry about your feelings, how you feel, what you're doing. No, it don't go like that. Life will never go like that.
So, with that situation, were you saying what happened to Monique? Would you see what happened to Mariah? Do you think that there's some validity to NeNe Leakes' story?
There's a lot of validity to her story. But when she keeps saying, I was cut, I did this, I did that, half of those things happen, and you still stay and receive that check. How can you complain about something, but you're still willing to work for the peanuts? If they're not giving you enough, make them give you enough. You don't sign that contract. You know your word. Know your word. Everybody know they love you on that show. Everybody know that yeah. But you sat there and you took those pennies. Nobody made you take them. She didn't maneuver in the right way. And that's on her.
And when you say maneuver in the right way, do you think if she would have brought this back from like season 5 or season 4, do you think that, you know, people would listen?
Yes, most definitely. Everybody, to this day, she still has her stand that would go to bat for her. And that then she had even more.
And what do you think about, you know, maybe this is the right time because of what's going on with the movement? You know,
it is the right time, but it's the wrong person.
I got you. Thank you, Thick Girl 40. We got you loud and clear up in this mother sucker, and everybody's agreeing. A lot of people agree with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you guys.
I love you too. They love you too as well. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you too. I think I hit the thing too quick. Tony, you did an excellent job. You did an excellent job last night. Tony, you the man. Michigan's in the house. You did a wonderful job. You always do. You my go-to, baby. Tony, you did excellent like always. Don't even do that. So, yes. And people agree with you, Tony. Tony, you did a good job. Don't even worry about it. And a lot of people are feeling Thick Girl 40. A lot of people are feeling different. So a lot of people have a different feeling and a different point of view. And, you know, a lot of people are saying it's just the wrong messenger. But then a lot of people are also saying that it's time to stand up and support. We got to support and stick together because therefore, you know, we're creating, you know, an atmosphere for the next generation and the next generation and the next generation, just like our ancestors did when they fought and they was in the mud, when they was out there on the plantation. They fought, you know, and it has to start somewhere. And if she has the audience and she has the people that will support her, you know, people feel like go ahead and do it. They feel like go ahead and do it. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, this is Kizza Ferguson calling from Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee, baby. So what is your thoughts?
Hey, okay, I'm not going to pretend like I'm really current upon a lot of things that's going. What the show is going on now because I've been sick and a lot of things been going on. But going on, I really appreciate what the last caller was speaking on, and going by what I've been remember from all the previous shows and things of that nature. But you know, with NeNe and with Tamar, with their big personalities, who could not know them? But going by what, like I said, piggybacking off what the last caller mentioned, and those two women that everyone knows about. For one, just going back on what everybody know of them. You know, with NeNe, since we just finished with her, what kind of sickens me with her is because, like the young lady said, this is the right time. Like I said, the world is in an unrest already. But the current situations that we're living in, like she said, it is the right time. If anyone is going to fight for her right now, Black America and Black women will fight for her. But at the same time, what makes me mad is when just Black people in general, when we try to pull the Black card at the wrong time. Now, here's the thing. Yes, we've been knowing for years that Kim
has used those blonde wigs to her advantage. Yes, we all know that it is racism. But the thing is, NeNe, she's been on this for the longest. But one of the things that she has always used against Kim, even when Kim was on this predominantly black show, I helped you get on this show. They weren't going to even use a white woman. Well, then why would you help her? Why would you give her the stepping stone? If that is the case, why didn't you use help get another black woman on the show? Since you wanted to brag about that, and you wanted to always use the race card, why would you help her get on the show? Why would you go to the producer and fight to help her get on the show? And then so you use that as an argument. And so now they're actually using your elbow grease or your muscle, and they're kicking you in your teeth at this particular time, because now she's able to pay her mortgage. So now you always walked around and said, I'm a rich you know what. I'm a rich you know what. And guess what? Now you're trying to get your mortgage paid, or to make sure you can continue to get your mortgages paid. But if you're rich you know what, then what are your complaints? And so then too, you're wanting all these black women to band together to help you to continue to either be, to remain this rich B word, or to make sure that you can continue to carry this out, or to pretend to be the rich B. So if that is the case, NeNe, you turn around and you stat on everyone that tried to help you to get here, because they didn't know you. Bravo didn't know you, like our sweet sister that spoke earlier. They didn't know you, because see, we remember that you were swinging on the pole when Greg made it. Not to dog other women that that do this as an art or whatever the case may be, or to pay their bill. I'm not judging at all. But the thing is, she's always wanted to put other people down, other women down, and how she's a rich bee. See, you always spit on your little, all the ones that you look down on. But see, like they always say, pride is right before a fall. So since you always want to look down on the average person, see, if it wasn't for us average people, you wouldn't be where you are. And I'm so sick of all these celebrities walking around always looking down on average people. See, it's our average dollars that get you all the millions that you claim you have. It's our dollars that get you there. And then when you're in the airport, you rolling your eyes or walking with your head up because you don't want to be stopped to give an autograph. So now us average black women, you're needing us to band together to sign some things, or us to band together. I'm sorry, now you need us to band together to help you to stay where you are, to be the rich B that you say that you are or claim to be. See, that's what people forget. And see, even with Tamar, you walked around with screaming and howling and talking extra loud, you and NeNe, being these big personalities. Looking down to see Tamar now, where you are, pride before a fall. I'm sure she's familiar with that scripture, being that she was raised as a little Christian girl. See, you're walking around with your head up in the air. But see, look where you're at now. Now, I'm not going to judge you where you are, although you judge other people, Tamar, because, see, your sister got sick of your behind. And people are forgetting where she was in the earlier show when Vince was throwing her all these bags and all these wigs and all that, and she thought it was so cute because he was supplying her with this money. Too dumb and stupid. See, all these girls walking around here wanting men securing them with all these things, and they're too stupid to take the money and build all these blanket girl accounts. See, sit this money to the side when things fall to the side, to the wayside, because it's going to end. Pass the money, these accounts sent to the side, so when he acts up, you'll have some money to walk. So you don't be sent to the side, and your edges be falling out, not from the glue, because of him. So when he walk, you can say, oh, it don't matter, because see, me and Logan, we good. He ain't good old, but I'm good. I'm good. So now you stressed out, want to kill yourself and doing all this drinking. Well, you slinging bags, telling your sister, this bag $4,000. And this bag is fitting these shoes and this wig. No, see, you're too busy bragging about material things when you should have been securing your bag for real.
Okay, I got a question. The question is, okay, they made mistakes. You calling out the mistakes that they have made. They made these mistakes. But is there a certain time and point where they can learn from their mistakes and help others? And do you think Tamar and NeNe and Mariah made mistakes? You know, we all made mistakes. We all got a past. We all did some shit that we shouldn't have did. But now they're calling on for help and support from their community to stick behind them. And then also, it would also help the next generation come through, like our ancestors did.
Yeah, I think now what they can do is actually, now this is my conjecture. This may not be anybody else's conjecture. This is right now, what the elements that we're living in today, we have a hard time humbling ourselves and say, okay, I made a mistake. This is what we're dealing with. Everybody is so big on saying, okay, they made a mistake, rather than saying, okay, I made a mistake. Everyone is so big on saying, this is what everyone has done to me. We are so big in this country on supporting narcissism. We're so big on saying, as long as this person carried this bag, wear these shoes, and the bottom of them are red, we will excuse it. Rather than them getting on a platform and saying, forget about my red bottom. Forget about my Hermes bag. Forget about my $3,000 extension. I made a mistake, young black women, by not securing that. I made a mistake by bragging. I made a mistake by not securing this, securing that, locking this in place and overlooking this and allowing him to take care of me to my detriment.
Well, NeNe did say that she was very uneducated when she signed the contract. And if you watch the video, she seemed very nervous and very afraid. And you can see that she had that coming to Jesus moment. So now that she has came to the moment of realization of, you know, things are wrong, she messed up. Do we support NeNe? Do we support our sisters? Or do we say, since you was bragging and you was acting like everything is all good, we're gonna close our eyes to you and just keep moving when we know deep inside that Bravo has done some things to these ladies that are not fair?
No, we support that. We applaud that. We run with that. And we say to our young women, or not even young women, even some older ones, we say, this is what this looks like. This is what we support. Then yes, we do. But if it's someone over here, then no, we don't. We say this is what we want to make sure we be careful of this young woman. No, we don't bash this woman because she doesn't do it. But what we say, now my voice is full of passion. This is not anger. This is passion. I'm a passionate speaker. But we say, this right here we may have to suffer a little more here if we still have a problem in this area. But we want to be careful. But if this is what is being said over here, and if she's expressing that, then by all means we embrace it. Yes, we do that. Yes, by all means. But if we're supporting narcissism, if we're supporting anything unhealthy, then we need to be, especially in the black community, we're so big on if it's traced in money, then we excuse it. We're so big on eating and toasting to anything that is unhealthy, as long as it is traced in money. And that is what we need to do. We need to stand up to that and say no more.
Okay.
It's not okay, and we need to fix that.
All right, appreciate it.
Okay.
I got you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your phone call.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And she made a lot of good points. So you better be careful because the fall, nobody might support you at the end of the day, right?
I totally agree with that.
Okay.
I totally agree.
That's what I got from it. So I was listening, baby girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
From Kiki.
Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Kiki.
Hey,
I'm
Kiki.
calling from Baker, Louisiana.
Okay, Louisiana's in the house. Please tell me your thoughts.
This is my thoughts. As coming from a family that my grandparents were slaves, the problem I have is we can talk about what NeNe did, we can talk about what Tamar did, we can talk about what every black person did. That's besides the point. Blacks are being treated unfairly. It doesn't matter who starts the cause. I don't give a damn about who at the finish line. I don't give a damn about who at the beginning. This person shouldn't do this person shouldn't do that. This is for all blacks. Because if we keep on allowing white people to do us this way, not all, but some of them, guess what? We're going to continue to go through this here. I'm a RN. Before I got this job, I worked at McDonald's, I worked at Burger King. We all took a job that we didn't like. And when you're uneducated in these situations, in these fields, you'll be told behind the scenes, well, listen, I'm going to pay you this right now, and I promise you the next thing going to be better, and this going to be better, and this going to be better. I was told that. I graduated top of my class from Southern University. But because I had a son to provide for, I took that. I kept taking it, and then it got to a point I said, no more. So maybe it's just her time is saying no more. Or maybe it's the next person's time is saying no more. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We see 15 minutes of a person's life and we think we know it all. With blacks, the problem I have with them, they talk about what she wearing on TV. Well, hell, black people out there fighting at the mall to get their kids Jordans. Half of them living in Section 8 places, and they got a nigga laying off of them, won't put them on child support, won't do this, won't do that. So we're going to talk about let's talk about it all if we're going to talk about it. The main goal is it's time for blacks to stand together. We need to be treated fairly. We need to be treated equally. We need to be paid what we are worth. And if we're going to sit on these networks, don't use us. In her getting killed on the network, it's common sense. You know they was going to have a white woman on the network. And if she got her on there as her friend, okay. I have some associates that are white. I'm not going to lie and say that I trust them fully because, you know, one day we get bad, you call me a nigga, it's going to be a problem. But at the end of the day, we're going to always be a nigga in these white folks' eyesight. We're always going to be a slave in their eyesight, no matter what type of education you got, it don't matter what it is. Look at how Andy did Monique. Monique was wrong for the violence she done on TV. Yes, Candace was wrong also. But he talked about it, and he talked about it. But you don't seem like that you're remorseful. You don't seem this, you don't seem that. You got your gay ass on TV with all of these black people, and you want to just point out basically what he was saying. Oh, she's hostile. Oh, she's violent. She's this, she's that. That's what they see in black people all the time. They say we hostile, we violent, we this, we that. They don't know the reason why we have this anger. It's because it's generations of this and what people don't understand. If your parents were slaves and they got beat during the pregnancy or was raped by the master and this and that, all of that passed on to that child. And then that child had to have kids. So when that child was pregnant, that woman, she endured the same thing. So it's generation of hurt. And it stems from slavery. We're not just angry people. We don't just wake up and say, oh, I'm going to kill somebody. We don't just wake up mad. We don't. But we're angry because we have never, ever been treated fairly. And I know for a second, as being an educated black woman, I'm 38 years old. I finally got a supervisor position. And, you know, I went up against 3 white women. But I didn't get it just because I deserved it. I got it because I had to get a lawyer involved. I had to write to the Louisiana Board of Civil Service, made a complaint and did this and did that. And even in the position, I'm young. You know, these white women look at me like, she my boss. She ain't gonna tell me what to do, this, and that. So if we look at my history or whatever, oh, she angry, she this, she that. Well, guess what? When nobody stand for me, it doesn't matter what NeNe did, Tamar did, or nobody else done. The only thing that matters today is we fucking tired of being treated wrong. We tired of our black men being killed, our black sons being killed, our black women being killed. We tired of this shit. And if black people stop downing one another and stand together like they did with the Black Panthers, they'll leave us the fuck alone, because they'll say, oh, these niggas done went wild. We ain't gonna mess with them no more. But they'll rather go around the corner and shoot Pookie because he's selling more dope. They'll rather get on the internet. Oh, she got her nose done. She's stealing. She doing this. They'll rather get on the internet and down on one another, just like you talking about our red bottles. It doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure you spent $200-300 on your child some Jordans. I know I have. I'm guilty of it. Hell, my son wears Gucci stuff too. He's 19. I can afford it, but it don't make me no different. It won't say that, hey, I ain't been discriminated against. It won't say that he's a black man and hey, he won't be discriminated against, or he haven't went through some things. Down south, we go through a lot. They down here, they bought the old school cars. My son got a Cutlass. If I could only tell you how many times he gets stopped. You know what? What are drugs at? This ain't no motherfucking drugs. I work for this here. We don't sell drugs, but it's because of what we have. We can't have nothing. Long as we don't have nothing, they good. If we living in the hood, the gutter or whatever, they good. When black people start to progress, it's a problem. When black people start to get educated, it's a problem, because it's wait a minute. These niggers done learn something. Okay, these niggers gonna take over. We don't want them to be educated. It's just time for black people to stand together. Forget who started the cause. The cause is gonna be for every black person. I can care less about NeNe. I can care less about any of them. Long as our black sisters and brothers are being treated fairly on TV and paid equally on TV. Hell, white women get on there and they do a lot of stuff. Look at that lady Teresa. She went to jail. Her husband went to jail. I think it was some fraud. I don't watch that show, but I heard bits and pieces about it. Hell, she back on the show. So it's nothing no bigger than what she done. If she helped build the platform, she helped build the platform. Hey, if she don't want to be bothered sometime when she in public, people got to understand. These people still have a private life. Hell, I don't want to be bothered sometimes in public. I just want to go on about my business. And if I was a celebrity, I'm a private person anyway. I really wouldn't want to be bothered. That's what meet and greets are for. Sometimes you don't know what these people have been through. Some people can approach them in the airport, rude, nasty, blah, blah, blah. You don't know what caused them to say, listen, I'm just going to tend to my business in the airport. I'm not going to bother nobody. I'm not going to do no meet and greet. I'm not going to take no pictures. Don't nobody know what people done went through. Only thing you know is what you see on TV. And it's just time for black people to say, hey, I can care less about what she done, this person done. The cause is it's time for us to stand together. We tired. It's time for us to be treated fairly. It's time for our young kids that's working at McDonald's, Burger King to get more than $7 to $8 an hour. Them damn kids need to get at least $12 an hour to put up with flipping burgers and dealing with rude people in the drive-thru. It's just time that black people say enough is enough. We gonna stand up. The cause is we want to be respected. It ain't got nothing to do with NeNe them. Look at the bigger picture. Because if the slaves back in the day was doing this type of stuff, they wouldn't have never got nowhere. You think Martin Luther King cared about what Malcolm X said or this other person said? No, he didn't. He went on with the cause. He kept going. He didn't care about what nobody thought of him. So if we ain't gonna stand for NeNe, but people stood for Dr. King, and they knew he was cheating on his wife because they made that public. They put it out there, so guess what? They could separate the black people, and they would say, oh, you know what? We shouldn't stand with him because he's cheating on his wife. They always gonna put something out there to make the black person say, well, hey, I'm not gonna stand for her, this, and that. Hell no. It's time we stand together, fight together. Because the people that saying, no, I ain't gonna do it, soon as some shit come around your corner, around your doorstep, happen with your family, you're gonna want everybody to support you. I live in Louisiana. I done been all out there to the Breonna Taylor March. I don't know that girl, but I know that I only have one child, and if that was my child, I would go nuts. And I hate to say it, an eye for an eye is the only thing gonna stop this here. When you start knocking our people off, we start knocking y'all asses off, y'all know. One of them, when they pull us over, we get out the car, we, yes sir, no ma'am, we talking, we on eggshells. And I know I deal with it. I just dealt with it a couple days ago. Police follow me, pull me over. He said he couldn't see my sticker. I get out. I said, well, I can see my tag sticker perfectly fine. Me and my husband was together. License registration. For what? But you see a black African American woman in a nice vehicle, luxury car. Then when you run my record, you see that I got 7 or 8 cars, and then you start asking all these dumb questions. I say, what are those questions for? You know what? Let me just call my lawyer because I'm not going to argue with you. But they piss you off on the traffic stop, and then you can't take it no more. When you start yelling at them, oh, you aggressive. Oh, you got out of line with me. Hell no. You kept me out here 13. You kept me out here 30 minutes to an hour talking crap to me. But that's what they do. They poke the bear. So it's time that we stand. Hey, no matter what NeNe did, she's black. It's just time that blacks stand together, just like our ancestors did. And I guess that's the only way I know how to do it, because my grandparents were slaves, and that's how I was taught. Back in the day, they stood together. They pulled you to the side later on and say, listen, you was wrong for what you did. But they stood together. Somebody gonna pull up to the side, or how about write a letter, write on Instagram. Don't be dogging her out. Just say, hey, we gonna stand with you, but we would like for you to change your attitude toward us, or we would like for you to do a meet and greet where we can voice our opinion on some things or whatever. But that's beyond the point. We can care less about that with her. If not just her, if everybody before her who went through this stuff, if everybody after her. We got young kids that possibly they're gonna go through the same thing.
I know.
My son's going to school to be a doctor. So we got to take a stand. I got to stand because guess what? He's gonna be a black doctor. Hey, so what he's supposed to do? Work at the bottom of the barrel and put up with what they dish out to him? Oh, because he needs that job. But thank God he don't have no kids. So a lot of black people, we take whatever because we say we got our kids to take care of. We let them dog us. We let them degrade us. We let them do everything because we have our children. I had my son at 18. So I took a lot of shit at McDonald's and Burger King. And as many days I done said, oh, if I ain't had my son, I would mollywop you in this place. But because I had my child, I had to stomach that. And I did that and I did that. And that continued to set up anger in me. So I had to go to therapy because I was just mad at white people. I was tired of the way they was treating us. I was tired because my grandparents were slaves or whatever. So we're not just aggressive. We're not just angry people. They provoke us, and then once we snap and retaliate, all the niggers and gone crazy.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate the phone call, calling from Louisiana, and congratulations on your son becoming a doctor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, we got to put a little bit of music on. So at the end of the day, are you guys standing with NeNe? Are you standing with Mariah? And are you standing with Monique? You guys let me know who are you guys. Are you going to stand with NeNe? Are you going to sign a petition? Are you going to boycott? Or are you going to keep on watching? Let me know what you decide to do. But as we all can agree on, there has been some mistreatment going on at Bravo towards the ladies. We can name Mariah. We can name, we can see what's going on with Mo. And there's other people that's been on the show that we felt has been mistreated. And when you talk about, Tamar, the mistreatment. And you see how smart and intelligent Dave Chappelle is. he was, you know, not getting his rightful pay, his rightful money. He can't even make another show that says the Dave Chappelle Show. You know, you got Tamar, Braxton saying she can't even use her name, her likeness, or nothing. You know, WeTV owns it all. So there is some things that are going on with our brothers and sisters that are on reality TV. You can talk about VH1. You can talk about the ladies from VH1, you know, Love and Hip Hop, talking about they still want them to be the same characters that they was from the beginning and being pushed out. Then you got ageism. Then you got colorism. You have so much that has gone on and that has happened. So we know our people are not getting the right fair shake in Hollywood. They're not getting a fair shake, you know, in their own communities, you know, and they're not. Sometimes we don't even get the fair shake when we try to go get loans or try to buy houses or cars or try to buy property. There's always some type of pitfall. There's always some type of illusion that you can't get it. There's always some type of paperwork that you didn't fill out, or you did something wrong. Oh no, we can't sell. So we know what's going on in this world. Are you guys willing to stand behind the ladies that are complaining and, you know, complaining about the injustice of how they are not getting paid like they're supposed to get paid, and their counterparts that are different, that are Caucasian, are making more money than them and getting spin-off shows for seasons after season? And we can say the same thing as the caller just said. You know, you could be at a job, you can be the best person, and you don't get that promotion. She said she had to get an attorney. So, at the end of the day, we all know that NeNe was scared. She was nervous. She was afraid. She was shaking. You could see it in her. That wasn't the NeNe. That wasn't the confident NeNe. You can see that she didn't want to ruffle any feathers. And there's a lot of people at their job today that don't want to ruffle any feathers, and they stay with the mistreatment. Should you stay, or should you go, or should you gather people together so you can change the system and you can change what's going on at your place of employment, so when the next generation comes, it'll be different? And also getting together and starting own businesses. Starting your own business, starting your own franchise. You know, it's easier said than done, because there are people that will block you from trying to get that. And we can even go back to Michael Jackson. You know, they didn't want him to have the masters. You know, it's a lot that goes on in the music business that some people were bold enough to say that they got robbed. Their money got taken from them. They don't own their masters. They had to sell it. All types of different things. Scared money don't make no money. Oh, Lord. I caught that one. Scared money don't make no money. Lord have mercy. So if there anybody else that wants to call in, let me put, I took the number off the screen. So if there's anybody else that want to call in, tell me your thoughts, tell me your opinion, you know. So, it was something totally different that we seen from NeNe. Very different. And Mariah was in the comment section and she was supporting her too. You know, to admit that, you know, you got played, you got taken advantage of, you got mistreated, and you dealt with the situation. And when everybody thinks everything's fine, oh, you that it girl, you're this, you're that, and it all being taken away from you. And then they continue to profit off of you. And this is where NeNe is at. And she said that she was uneducated and signing her deals and different things. She probably would do things a whole lot differently, as some of us all would. But, yes, I know, Miss Nina Bug, you need the support of your cast, you know, even though they can replace anybody. Just like when you go on the picket line, when you strike, they can replace anybody. They can bring scabs on, they can bring other people on and replace you. But, you know, if you get replaced or you get fired or something like that, but if you're doing it for a cause, but when you have enemies on the show and people don't like you, you don't like them, and it's like, you know, they don't get that support, you know? They're not going to get the support from the cast because people are worried about their own bread and butter. Then plus, we are not cool. And nobody wants to miss out on that opportunity, because you can brand yourself on Bravo, sell all types of product, get fame, notoriety, and, you know, you're on a syndicated show. So there might not be some people that will speak up at all. Dave Hart, Babe Boy, thank you for shedding light on current issues that affect us as people. Sucks. It was kind of waste. You had to go there. You just had to go there. I knew you was going to do it on NeNe and the last. You had, Lord have mercy. I knew you was going to go there. I knew you was. But thank you for the donation. And we also got to realize that we're all not going to agree at all. And exploitation, yes, a lot of exploitation, where they have you out here doing this, doing that, whether they can create a narrative, about a situation about you, and then boom, that makes them money, that gets them ratings. And, and it happens in our regular life with our regular jobs of the mistreatment, and even if you work in the hospital too as well, especially with things that are going on, it's not first come, first serve. It's who am I going to choose to serve? And if you think about a black person, you think that the people that are behind, the white jackets are going to say, I'm going to choose this black woman, I'm going to choose this black man, or are they going to choose somebody else that they're going to help? Because I've been hearing a lot of stories about that too, as well. And with that situation, we don't know all the details, but with the Tanya Sam situation, but thank you, Dave Hart. Thank you, babe boy. I appreciate you always. With the Tanya Sam situation, now, she has not returned back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. She hasn't been around. She's been MIA because she feel like they're taking a narrative of her, being involved sexually with, a stripper and with Portia Williams, and it's not good for her brand, it's not good for her image, and she believes, and she tells us, and she told us that it's a lie, it's not true, and they're making that the topic of the show, it was on a trailer, so, she feels like she's been in harm's way, and she don't want that information out there, but it's out there, and she has refused to film. Is she going to be a part of a lawsuit too? What do you guys think about that situation? Because, Lord, she didn't come back. She left. She fled the country with this situation going on. But did you guys see the vulnerability that we have not seen in NeNe? It took a hard, it took a lot for her to do that. It took a lot. That wasn't easy, and you can tell in her face. But thank you guys so much for coming through. I really do appreciate y'all. The moderators, I appreciate y'all for coming through as always, and the support. Thank you for the phone calls. I appreciate all the phone calls. Thank you, Ralph. Always happy days. Thick Girl 40, Mo coming through. Miss T for calling too. Miss Nina Bug, thank you too as well. Happy days, always a pleasure. Major, what's up? What's going on, baby? Virtuous Woman too as well. And who else? Norris Tony, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you. Dave Hart, aka Babe Boy, thank you for calling in. Appreciate you. Because you know what? We learn from each other. And maybe not at this moment, but later on, we can have a deep thought or a conversation about, what's going on with our people, and who should we support and who should we not support, who should we rally behind, who should we help? Should we help all of us? Is everybody able to get on the boat or no? So, we can't support the people that be tap dancing. We ain't down with that situation. And thank you, Witch Hazel, for coming through. I do appreciate you. Miss Nina Bug, Norris Tony, Thick Girl 40, happy days. Sugar Hill, baby. I didn't see ya. What's up? What's going on? I got Virtuous Woman, and so I got all the moderators, I believe. And Mother was here too. What's up, Mother? Trying to, shout out all the members to the channel. I do appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Pamela, thank you. Teresa, thank you. Riri, thank you. Who else? And everybody in the chat, I appreciate you guys coming. I appreciate you guys calling and coming through from the bottom of my heart. My peeps, my peoples, Peep Squad. 4315, thank you so much. Witch Hazel, Isabel Lee, thank you. Who else? Medina, thank you so much for coming through. 1981, the mass 1981. 81, baby. 81. Ooh, shit. Palms, thank you for coming through. Thank you guys for coming through. Happy Days is always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure with all of you guys. Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Major. Okay, I can't say any more names. Thank you guys so much. Please like the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. My peeps, my peoples. Peep Squad is in the building, baby. Please hit that like button. Please go check out Norris Tony YouTube channel. Please go check out Ralph YouTube channel. Please show them some love. Thick Girl 40, she has a YouTube channel. Go show her some love too as well. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Thick Girl 40. Always stay blessed. Keep your eyes open and stay woke. Much love to all my peeps and my peoples. Peep Squad is in the building. Thank you for your love and your support. I appreciate it. Let's pray for each other and keep each other up in prayer, baby. That we stay strong and we stay powerful and we move forward and conquer all our dreams, goals, and aspirations. Much love to all of y'all. Stay woke, baby.